you straight, Karuna Nandi. Look, the Congress seems to be implying that this is a matter where the courts have overreached by delivering a maximum sentence of 2 years for a crime of defamation. Do you believe, therefore, the court has set a sort of an extreme precedent? And is it justified?
I think it's very important to remember that courts, as you quite correctly pointed out, that when a court makes a decision and it goes against a particular entity, a political entity, then tomorrow it could go against another political entity, right? And so we have seen over decades and decades that you have the weaponization of prosecution by various states and, also by the center. The CBI has memorably been called the cage parrot on occasion. But then fortunes flip. And so when there is, when the prosecution goes for the highest sentence, and bad precedent bites everyone. So when the Subramaniam Swamy case was heard by the Supreme Court, the case that looked at getting rid of the law, and I was before a different bench on the same issue because our client was, the Chief Justice was conflicted out of our case. So our same case was sent to another judge. But the thing is that the variety of people there before the court, Rahul, was to be noted. There was Rahul Gandhi, there was Rajdeep Sardesai, there was the Editors Guild, I think, and then there was Subramaniam Swamy. So free speech is something that is very important. One is not saying that free speech must include falsehood, but one is saying that criminal defamation is something that came from the Star Chamber in England, where people used to duel, for honor. And in such a situation where now we are no longer in that sort of situation, to retain a crime which has such a massive chilling effect and is so blatantly disproportionate in the rough and tumble of politics, and to not recognize that political speech has a different threshold, particularly when you are speaking of governmental acts and public persons who are in politics, then you're absolutely right. It's a very bad precedent.
Okay, so let me ask you.
As you correctly said, the law should go. The law shouldn't be in there in the first place.
Okay, so let's just, look, we're not attributing motives, of course, to the court, but we seem to suggest that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so we seem to suggest that, look, perhaps it hasn't really taken into context political speech and how it sort of plays out in the hot and heavy,
but not just this court. I don't even know if it was argued before this court, frankly.
Right. Okay.
But I'm saying that the jurisprudence in general surrounding criminal defamation needs to, at the very least, be limited and whittled away. Okay. Which, for example, there are judgments in the Sandhya Ravi Shankar case.
I agree with you. I'm not in favor of criminal defamation. Journalists are often pulled before various courts by political parties on the slightest pretext, and it does have a chilling effect. But let me just quickly ask you this, because it's not just the BJP, but if you really look through the records of this court in this particular case, Rahul Gandhi was asked to apologize for his remarks on a number of occasions. And it's not as if people haven't in the past. I remember Sanjay Nirupam filed a case against Vinod Rai, and Vinod Rai then apologized. So, you've had a Congress personality going after the CAG. You've also had DK Shiv Kumar, another Congress personality who's filed a defamation case against a BJP MLA. And again, Arvind Kejriwal, Jaitley, this, that, the other. Apologies have come. Jairam Ramesh apologized. Manish Tiwari sort of came out and apologized. Rahul Gandhi was asked, and do you believe his refusal to do so only strengthened the case against him?
I think that there's a way in which, when there is a particular, when a blunderbuss is shown to you, right? The law on criminal defamation, And when you feel that you have something to say there, maybe you didn't express it in an ideal way, but you do have something to say, then to retract it and take it all back may not be palatable. And to wish for and to want and to argue for a law, because after all, these are our courts. This is our democracy, right? All of us. And to attempt to, through the system, demonstrate that the law can address nuances, should and can address nuanced situations, to make that attempt is not wrong. And as Mr. Vikas Singh said quite correctly, I think that in appeal, it's unlikely, I think, that the 2-year sentence will be upheld.
Okay.
Right? And the process is in the punishment also, right? Because
that's true.
If it is that 2 years and, over 2 years, and the man has been disqualified from entering parliament, then
one gets that.
Just the fact of adjudication.
Obviously, it all depends on whether in 30 days Rahul Gandhi and his counsels go up in appeal. Now, let's open this up because I want to bring in